Hey everyone, welcome back to another mukbang video by yours truly. Again, my name is Dong Trung. It's like Dung Beetle without the beetle. I'm an actor who loves to eat and talk, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Y'all remember when I said I graduated with my BFA? I just recently graduated with my BFA in acting. Yep. Today's topic will be about my BFA experience. Now, that's going to be a cultivation of things, but I thought it would be a little fun at the end to kind of review my BFA and see if it was worth it. So, yeah. But before we get into today's topic, let's get into today's food. So, today is obviously, as you can see, McDonald's. Today we have a Oreo McFlurry, some fries, chicken nuggets, quarter pounder, Big Mac, and some sauces. I'm gonna open the sauce. Y'all know I love sauces, so I'm gonna open the sauces first. Today's sauces is sweet and sour and barbecue. So my BFA was in acting, and yes, some of the classes are exactly what you see in the skits, in the stereotypical videos. My program was a combination of liberal arts and conservatory style, so it was kind of interesting because it wasn't fully conservatory, but it wasn't fully liberal arts. So I had gen eds, but I had like a good amount of like classes I needed to take to complete my curriculum. And they were like long classes, and typical acting classes last from, I would say, about 2 hours to 4 hours. Most of my classes were in between that. I took classes like voice and movement. I took obviously acting, the series of acting classes. I also took the more technical aspects of stagecraft, costume construction, theater history, and stuff like that. So it was a well-rounded curriculum that I got to participate in. While all those classes seemed fun, there were a lot of work. And long hours. If you were in a production, then you pretty much did classes, then maybe had like a 30-minute dinner break, and then rushed over to rehearsals. That's exactly what happened to me. I was cast in The Comedy of Errors, and I played like a semi-supporting character. So therefore, like, I wasn't there like all the time, but I was there for the majority of it. With that being said, I am the type of person. Okay. In college, I was the type of person that worked so hard and no breaks, and obviously that caught up to me. So I had classes and stuff, and I was also a work study student. So I would go to class, then work, and then I would rush home to have like a 30-minute lunch. So most of those dinners were definitely chicken nuggets and fries. You can ask my roommate, but sometimes you just don't have time when you have rehearsals and classes and work, whatever. Like I said, it's a lot of work, but it is very fun. Just like some classes are fun, some of the other classes were not as fun. For example, I had a voice and movement class where I had to do a lot of emotionally exhausting work. And that is kind of what is entailed in a BFA program sometimes. So when you're taking classes like that and you have to show up every single time for every class, it gets pretty draining. So sometimes I would just dread it. Oh my god, I would wake up and, wish classes were canceled, or I try not to skip, but there was a time where I had to skip. It was just too much because I was also doing a lot of other stuff, which I probably shouldn't have. But everything was kind of piling in and it was getting too much, and I had to just skip class because I mentally could not show up to that class specifically. And there were also other classes that to me didn't really serve me as much during that time. For instance, like, I didn't think it was necessary to take theater history just because it was I wanted to go into film and television, and I didn't think that really served me right then and there. Who knows? I might need it like maybe a few years in. I get this role, and I really need to know some type of knowledge during that time. You know? Who knows? But during that time, it just didn't serve me, and so I wasn't as fulfilled or engaged as much as I probably would be with an acting class. Oh, good thing there's napkins. So those are some of the classes that I had to take within this curriculum. I also want to talk about how I felt as a person of color who happens to be queer in this program. Because I think that that is like something that we are trying to bring up a conversation about, but it's just not getting there. I went to a school in Missouri, and that's in the Midwest for anyone who is really bad at geography, like I am. But the Midwest isn't the most diverse area. Well, depending on where you go to school at, right? So the area that I went to school didn't really have a lot of diversity. So I kind of knew that I was going to be one of the few POCs in the program, but that didn't really bother me much because I just was so excited to really dive into my artistry, my craft, and learn as much as I can, right? I think being one of the only few people of color in a BFA program was interesting to me personally because in the beginning, I didn't really think about it as much. I kind of just really focused on the classes. I really focused on the people in the program who I was working with and stuff like that. So I didn't really pay attention much to it. It's melting. I feel like every trucker eats a Big Mac. Nothing else, just Big Macs, which is so interesting. But anyways, but going through the program, I've slowly noticed that being you is what's going to make you book, right? And so, but at the same time, I was in my undergrad. I was young. I'm still learning who I am as a person. However, I feel like I'm pretty well informed about myself. I'm pretty self aware. With that being said, the material that was given wasn't always resonating. And so I felt like I couldn't really dive in. I couldn't really eat it up, right? And it's so funny because I can prove this point because I actually had to do a scene in class, something that I wrote. We performed it in class, and afterwards when we talked to the professor to kind of review how the performance went and stuff like that, the professor let me know that was the most grounded work that I've seen you do. And so I was like, this is so interesting. With this performance that I did with my self-written scene, I knew that that is exactly what I'm trying to reach for in acting. Guys, when I did the scene, it was just so I can't even put it into words. When I was doing this scene, there was maybe a millisecond in the beginning where I was like, okay, I'm doing a scene, let me get into it. And then bam, I was in it. I dropped in completely and I let the words take over. I let the situation take over. And it was the most dropped in I ever felt. And I'm still trying to get to that point again to this day. But man, that was such a good feeling to have. It's also eye-opening too to know that that is proving my point. Having material that really resonates with you, it makes you dive into your art and craft deeper, right? But I wasn't getting that with any of the other materials that I was given. Same thing goes for my showcase. Most BFA programs have a senior showcase at the end of the curriculum. And with mine, we were going through COVID. So it definitely looked different than how they were done before. So we had to change things up. But we wanted to keep the content pretty similar. Everyone who was in the showcase brought in scenes that they wrote or found online that they really liked or resonated with them. With the success of my self-written scene in class, I thought I should write at least majority of the scenes that I'm going to submit for a showcase. Side note, we were asked to bring in sitcom scenes. If they were self-written, they had to kind of follow a sitcom theme. So that's exactly what I did. And I brought in about, I want to say 8 self-written scenes that were all sitcom style. Obviously, I had like 1 or 2 that were my favorite. I written all 8 scenes and I brought in like maybe 2 scenes from shows that I loved. Fast forward, there was some miscommunication, and so most of the scenes were scrapped. Then we went back to square one. From that point on, scenes were being brought to us, being asked to read for them, seeing if it worked or not, and at the same time bringing in our own as well. And so at the end, what we landed on for my scene was a scene from a play. I don't remember the play. I felt like it definitely didn't show who I am as a person, if that makes sense. So the scene exhibited what some of my acting abilities were. It didn't represent who I was as a person, as an artist. So there was a little disconnect from that scene as well, but I did my best. So to tie it back to what we were talking about, I feel like the things that make me who I am weren't shown, because I'm proud of my culture, I'm proud of my community, queerness. I was comfortable with all of that, but sadly I didn't feel like it was being represented with my showcase. Overall, as a person of color who is queer, I think that my BFA experience was decent. There were some things that could be improved on, and there were things that I really enjoyed. And you're gonna find that in all types of programs. There are gonna be things that you enjoy, and there's gonna be things that you don't enjoy. And that's just that. This is a lot of calories. Are you guys more of a Big Mac person or a Quarter Pounder person? Because I know the meats are different. So let me know which one you prefer, Big Mac or Quarter Pounder, in the comments. So let's get into the review part. Do I think it's worth it? I want to break that down into 3 things. Was it worth it financially? No. Was it worth it career-wise? Yes. Acting-wise? Yes and no, because this program gave me time to really mold my process and figure out most of the common techniques that are being taught don't really work with me. It also gave me some insight to who I am as an artist and the tics that I have and the habits that I have, because I tend to overthink things so much. So that is something I learned through this program. No, because my process didn't really align with what they were teaching. Now, would I do that entire process again? No. because I think I could get that outside of a BFA program in LA. There are so many people who are teaching classes who themselves are really active in the business, who are auditioning just like we are. And I actually took a class, and there was a week where we didn't have class because my teacher booked something. So you're getting tips and tricks with people who are auditioning today. So you just kind of have to pay attention to that as well when looking for teachers and professors in programs or whatnot, right? Because I think that's valuable knowledge that could be received. Now again, this is all 100% my opinion For the actors who are asking, do I really need to go into a BFA program to be an actor? No, you don't need a BFA program to be an actor. There are many people who don't go to school and become an actor. If you can't make the financial investment for a education like that, that's okay. But if you're an academic person and you definitely want to dive into that academic setting for acting, I would highly recommend it for you. But for people who are not into that, I don't recommend, because it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. So just really think deep into it. Dang, I ate so many calories today. Oh, what should I eat for the next video? Oh my god, I didn't drink any water today. I need to drink water. Should I bring water? Ah, there it is. If you are someone who's interested in entering a BFA program, I am offering coaching sessions. So please contact me with any questions. But for everyone who is auditioning for a BFA program right now, good luck to you. I know you're going to do great, and don't let an audition dictate the value of your work. I cannot believe I just ate all that. I do feel like I'm gonna explode, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up, a comment, and subscribe for more mukbang content. If you guys have any place you want me to try, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'm open to trying anything. Alrighty, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!